In the headlines, Ejikeme Mesoma confirmed forging Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board results to Anambra panel. President Tinubu vows to remove bottlenecks to investments, reposition economy to favor youth. Governor Bago directs security agencies to launch stop-and-search operations to curb insecurity in Niger State. And on the foreign scene, Human Rights Watch urges Tunisia to stop collective expulsions of Black African migrants. Hello and welcome to Trust News Update. I'm Darshan Hussaina Usman. Now the news in detail. The 8-member panel set up by Governor Charles Soludo of Anambra State to investigate the controversies surrounding the results claimed by a candidate in the 2023 Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination, Mesoma Ejikeme, has submitted its report. Headed by Professor Nkemdili Nonyelu, the committee confirmed that Ms. Mesoma forged the score of 362 as earlier claimed by the Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board. According to the report, the candidate confirmed she single-handedly forged the results before approaching a cyber cafe for printing. Christian Aburime, the chief press secretary to Governor Charles Soludo, confirmed the authenticity of the report. Reactions have continued to trail the fake result controversy between the Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board and a candidate, Mesoma Ejikeme Joy. In Makurdi, residents are worried about the examination process, which they feel is susceptible to compromise, as well as Nigeria's over-reliance on paper qualification. Jimmy Adzande has the report.
Since the alleged falsification of our result, there have been accusations and counter-accusations between the body and Mesoma before her eventual admission for falsifying the result. For Makurdi residents, the controversy has exposed a scale of societal decay as well as an erosion of morals which require repair.
Because as far as I'm concerned, it's still an allegation, but it shows lapses in our system nonetheless. Because when did they sit for the exam? Why has it taken so long for them to be revealing that this is a forged case?
What we are saying, that many people have collected the same results and they have sent to universities, and universities have checked the same results that are not sincere, and the JAMB has approved these results, and those people are in the university.
Others are concerned that JAMB has much more work to do to standardize its operations and maintain the integrity of the examination.
So JAMB on their own part also should standardize their operations such that somebody's results should not be a mystery. Once you have access, you should check, and confirming its authenticity shouldn't be an issue at all.
JAMB have to work on their system very well, because if people lost faith that this JAMB is no longer producing the right results, it's not telling the truth of academics knowledge, then automatically people will start doubting anything the institution does.
But I believe there are so many fake results that have gone unnoticed. And all JAMB has to do is they need to check their cyber security and maybe upgrade it and improve on certain areas to curtail issues like this.
They also said the controversy should be blamed on poor parenting and the over-reliance on paper qualification for assessing one's competence.
So the value system has eroded so that children are being encouraged also to go through this means. We are showing them that you need to find some smart way to excel. So parents have their own lapses too.
See somebody who forge a result, they cannot defend. They get big marks or high marks, and coming to proving it maybe in their field of specialization or what the result says, it becomes a problem. So I think there should be other means of assessing our capabilities rather than depending on paper results.
JAMB has confirmed that the candidate actually scored 249 and not the 362 she allegedly forged. Meanwhile, JAMB has withdrawn Mesoma Ejikemejoy's result and banned her from partaking JAMB examination for 3 years. Jimmy Azandi, Trust TV News, Makurdi.
Thank you, Jimmy, for that report. Now, President Bola Tinubu on Friday in Abuja assured the manufacturing and service sectors that more reforms will be unfolded to boost efficiency and attract investments. The president also said the ongoing economic reforms will be deliberately steered to capture and favor teeming youths in the country. President Tinubu gave the assurance when a delegation from MTN, led by Group Chairman Ms. B.C. Jonas, visited him at the State House. A statement by Special Advisor to the President's Special Duties, Communications and Strategy, Dele Alake, said the President, while committing himself to removing any impediments to investments in the country, acknowledged the sweeping changes across the world, largely driven by technology. President Tinubu said the growing rural-urban migration can only be controlled with more investments in digital technology that will directly improve healthcare systems and education for the poor. The MTN Group chairman said the company had a plan of investing $3.5 billion in the economy over the next 5 years, with a broader vision of becoming a pan-African company by moving investments from the Middle East and focusing more on Africa, especially Nigeria, where it gets the highest return on investment. President Bola Tinubu will depart Abuja for Guinea-Bissau on Saturday to attend the 63rd Ordinary Session of the Authority of Heads of State and Government of the Economic Community of West African States, which will take place on Sunday in Bissau, the nation's capital. The Special Advisor to the President on Special Duties, Communications and Strategy, Dele Alake, disclosed this in a statement on Friday. According to Alake, President Tinubu will be accompanied by some members of the Presidential Policy Advisory Council and other top government officials. He said the president is expected back in the country at the end of the meeting. This will be Tinubu's second official outing outside the country since he was sworn in as 16th President of Nigeria on May 29. Niger State Governor Muhammad Bago has directed security agencies in the state to begin stop-and-search operations to curb insecurity in the state. Governor Bago also disclosed that plans were on to ensure that schools that had remained under lock due to banditry would be reopened and internally displaced persons will return to their ancestral homes. He said deliberate steps must be taken to ensure that farmers remain committed to farming activities, adding that fertilizers would be made available at subsidized rate. Bago gave the order when he visited the Emir of Mina, Umar Farouk Bahago, in his palace in Mina, the state capital, over the robbery incident that happened on Tuesday afternoon, during which 2 palace guards were shot by gunmen.
We have come to Mina today again to also commiserate with His Royal Highness over the last incidents of robbery attack at the palace. And we have come to reassure him and Nigerites they are on top of situation, and by the grace of God we'll bring those people to book. And we have also given a marching order for stop and search in the Mina metropolis. This will commence from today, and our exits will definitely be blocked for thorough checks by the grace of God. The state government is going to launch fertilizer on Monday, with in a subsidized rate for our farmers to be able to go back to farm and continue farming.
Earlier, the Emir of Mina, Umar Farouk Bahago, called on the governor to be more deliberate in taking actions that will make the state a safe haven for all. Moving on to more stories, the Katsina State Police Command says its operatives have killed 1 suspected terrorist, arrested 2 others, and recovered 100 rustled cattle in Katsina communities. The command spokesperson, ASP Sadiq Abubakar, who disclosed this in a statement on Friday, said Nemesis caught up with the suspects following receipt of a credible intelligence report about their activities and hideout. The two suspected terrorists arrested are Amadou Abubakar, 30 years, also known as Maiboza of Wagini village in Batsari local government area, and Abbas Lawal, 40 years, also known as Abbas Dogo of Filim Polo quarters, Katsina local government area. Both suspects, who confessed to being under the camp of one Sarajo, a suspected notorious bandit leader, also admitted that they participated in the attacks on Galadimawa, Karau, Rijana, Fanturawa communities, all in Kaduna State and some parts of Niger State. The command said it also recovered over 100 cattle after police operatives led by the DPO Denja repelled suspected terrorists who attacked a Fulani settlement at Ongworogo and Rafingora in Denja local government area, Katsina State. ASP Sadiq said the body of the slain suspect was recovered in the course of scanning the scene. Police command in Bauchi State have arrested a 21-year-old housewife, Maimunatu Suleiman, for allegedly stabbing her husband to death at Kofar Dumi, a suburb of Bauchi metropolis. The acting spokesman of the command, Assistant Superintendent of Police Aminu Ahmed, stated this in a statement made available to newsmen on Friday in Bauchi. He said Maimunatu allegedly stabbed her husband with the intention of killing him following an altercation between them. He added that preliminary investigation revealed that the suspect stabbed her husband, Aliyu Muhammad, at the same address on the 5th of July 2023 at about 6 p.m. in their matrimonial home. Assistant Superintendent of Police Ahmed said the Commissioner of Police Awal Muhammad directed that the case be transferred to the State Criminal Investigation Department for investigation to further unravel the circumstances surrounding the death of the victim. You're watching Trust News Update. Coming up after the break, we take a look at why 25-year-old was locked up in Jigawa for 5 years. Do stay.
Welcome to Trust TV, where we document the Nigerian story. Our programming showcases the rich culture and diversity of Nigeria. We strive to amplify the voices that make our nation unique. Our programming is designed to take you on a journey through the different tastes of entertainment in our country. We showcase the best of Nigerian culture, from traditional craft to cutting-edge technology. Our team of expert journalists are dedicated to unveiling the intricacies of our culture and telling the untold stories that binds us all. And let's not forget the food. Nigeria has diverse and flavorful cuisines, some of the favorites to millions across the world. What is Nigeria without its people, their passions and their talent? Trust TV is not just a channel, it's a platform that brings you closer to everything that makes Nigeria great. Trust TV, documenting the Nigerian story.
Welcome back and thanks for staying with us. You're still watching Trust News Update, a recap of our top stories. We told you that Ejikeme Mesoma confirmed forging joint admissions and matriculation board results to Anambra panel. We also told you that President Tinubu vows to remove bottlenecks to investments, reposition economy to favor youth. Moving to other stories. Social media users are impressed with the emergence of Threads, a new platform that gives users opportunity to share ideas and information. Noel Sampson speaks to some Abuja residents on the launch of the new app, which has already garnered over 70 million subscribers. Take a look.
Threads is designed as a platform for real-time conversations and sharing of ideas. Threads aims to provide users with a similar experience to Twitter, reaching 55 million users already just after its launch on Thursday. Social media users in Abuja have different notions concerning the new app. While some do not know about the existence of a new app, others are skeptical about joining the app, even though they see it as a competition to Twitter.
I think Mark is here to compete. Mark is here to compete, and he made a very smart move going for ex-Twitter's employees. That was a very smart move. I never expected it. I heard that we are going to have a fight, Elon and Mark Zuckerberg. We are thinking it was a physical fight. I didn't know that Mark had another thing in mind. Surprisingly, it garnered about 1 million users, yes, then about 3.8 million tweets on Twitter concerning Thread. So if Thread is trending on Twitter, man, I think he's very competitive.
I don't think I'm going to be jumping on it so soon. So I need to observe and see. And you know what we call this speculation that is going on with the symbol like 666. So you know those people. Let me put them. Those people. They normally hide their agendas in one of all those things we see on. Normal our everyday life. So
yeah, it's better we have options when it comes to social media. You don't allow just a single person to monopolize the whole thing, so that when a particular one is not doing better, you have the option of going for the other one. Yes, it's a good one. It's a good one.
I came across it yesterday. I was reading over it on the internet. Then I saw something like something that has to do with Mark Zuckerberg or something like that, understand? Then the likes of Twitter owner, understand, trying to accuse him of having stolen their trademark or something like that. I have not really gotten the real gist.
Social media facilitates quick information dissemination. More than 4.7 billion people use social media in the world. Well, Samson, Trust TV News, Abuja.
The father and stepmother of the 25-year-old Jigawa woman locked up for 5 years have been released on bail following outcry over the incident. Ummi Garba was rescued by the Nigeria Civil Defense Corps following a formal complaint by a human rights activist. Ali Rabiu sends this report as presented from our studio.
This is the room where the woman, Ummi Garba, lives with her father and stepmother in the Takro area of Dutse, the Jigawa state capital. Her food was usually served on the bare floor of this room, where she was locked up for a long period until her rescue. Her 67-year-old father, Garba Musa, said the reason why they locked her up to stop her going outside was because she suffered from a mental problem. According to the father, people with low moral upbringing around the area were taking advantage of her mental problem to invite her to their rooms for sexual pleasure. Public Relations Officer of the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps, NSCDC, Adamu Shehu, said men of the command arrested the father in May following a complaint lodged at the NSCDC State Command Headquarters by a human rights activist that he had locked up a 25-year-old lady in a room within the house for several years without being allowed to come out.
Currently, with the help of organization here, the civil society group and some good Samaritan at the quarters, taking care of the young girl. She has been taken to hospital. As far as I'm concerned, or I know, I've been briefed about twice now. Because since those days, I may recall, I said the last time she was taken to the hospital was in 2018, almost 5 years ago, and nothing was done. Though the father also, to be fair to him, claimed that when they go to Kazaure, that's the psychiatric hospital in Kazaure, the same medication they are offering, so they resorted to buying the medication over the counter.
Director of Public Prosecution in the state, Hussein Abdullahi, said the parents were released on bail. Part of the bail condition requires that the father takes his daughter to Kazuri Mental Hospital and the NSCDC female officer be paying unscheduled visits to the house to see her condition.
She called me that there's a woman who was locked up by her father for, she said, as she said, for about 5 years or so. And she said that she reported the matter to the civil defense office. She wanted to hear from me what is my advice. So since you have taken the case to the civil defense force, let's see what the investigation will be.
The mother of the 25-year-old Ummi, separated from the father, has 6 children with Garba Musa. Ummi has 5 siblings from the same mother, who is now married to another man living in Oguma town in Kano State.
Residents of Katsina State are responding to the tree planting calls by the Emir Abdulmumani Kabir Usman to mitigate effects of climate change. The Emir had, during his Salah message, asked the people to anticipate late arrival of rainfall and decline in agricultural production because of climate change. Abdullahi Yamadi completes the report.
Some individuals and groups such as Youth Against Deforestation and Environmental Degradation in Katsina are planting 1 million seedlings from the month of July to September 2023. This is coming few days after the Emir of Katsina cautioned the people of the state on the effects of climate change, which according to him is one of the major causes of all social and economic problems confronting the region. My respected subjects, there is a trouble around us, which is climate change, and the only remedy to it is massive planting of trees. Unfortunately, many residents are busy destroying what remained of our bushes and forest reserves without a commensurate plan to plant another trees. Now, every one of us is feeling the effects, and it is a price we all must pay if nothing is done to stop it. I urge you to massively plant trees and nurture it to maturity. The Youth Against Deforestation is also poised to work with other relevant associations to change the narrative. They also warned that destruction of forests and tree felling could be consequential, calling for legislations to put a stop to the negative attitudes.
So youth support against deforestation and environmental degradation, concern about indiscriminate cutting down trees planted by our forefathers. And I are appealing to people to imbibe the culture of planting more trees for the benefit of ecosystem and biodiversity to ensure habitable environment. And I call on people to include planting trees into their ceremonial activities like wedding, birthday, and naming ceremonies.
The Youth Against Deforestation and Environmental Degradation in Katsina State is nursing over 15 million seedlings annually for planting and distribution to clubs, associations, public and private groups free of charge. Experts agreed that to discourage indiscriminate felling of trees, governments and other stakeholders must make energy such as kerosene and cooking gas available and affordable to the Nigerian people. Abdullahi Ismayamadi, Trust Television News, Katsina.
Now, the foreign scene, Human Rights Watch on Friday urged Tunisia to put an end to what it called the collective expulsion of black African migrants to a desert area near the Libyan border. Hundreds of migrants from sub-Saharan Africa have been left stranded in dire conditions in the south of Tunisia since being driven out of the port city of Sfax in the past week. The rights group's statement comes against the backdrop of violence after the funeral of a 41-year-old Tunisian man who was stabbed to death in Sfax on Monday in a brawl between Tunisians and migrants. Sfax, the North African country's second largest city, is a departure point for many hoping to reach Europe by sea, often the Italian island of Lampedusa, about 130 kilometers away. HRW's Lauren Seibert urged Tunisia's government to halt collective expulsions and urgently enable humanitarian access to the African migrants and asylum seekers already expelled to a dangerous area. The group said migrants interviewed alleged several people died or were killed at the border area between Sunday and Wednesday, adding that some were shot and others beaten by Tunisian security forces. And finally, in sports, Super Falcons' Asisat Oshoala has been shortlisted for the 2023 Ballon d'Or award. Oshoala's nomination was announced via France Football social media pages on Friday. The Nigerian forward was nominated for the Socrates Award category of the Ballon d'Or. The Socrates Award identifies the best solidarity actions carried out by committee champions. Vinicius of Brazil and Real Madrid, Antonio Rudiger of Germany and Real Madrid, Marcus Rashford of England and Manchester United, Alex Morgan of USA and San Diego Wave are the other nominees. The reigning African Women's Player of the Year was also a nominee for the Ballon d'Or in 2022. And with that, we've come to the end of Trust News Update. Don't forget to follow us across all our social media platforms. I'm Darshan Hussaina Usman. Thanks for watching.